Sir interested in?
Sir is very quiet and is very, very smart and does all of the number stuff.
Being pregnant and fixing your mouth to talk crazy about kids with disability is bold. I talked about this before. Back in my day, like, some stuff was just off limits that you never even spoke about. And you definitely didn't speak bad about people who had disabilities. That was completely off limits.
We need to talk about Beyoncé and Nicki Minaj again. But this time, it's about their sons, Sir Carter and Papa Bear. Both queens have gone to extreme lengths to keep their little boys far away from the public eye, but the internet just won't stop digging. Fans are now wondering, is this really about privacy? Or are these women hiding something much deeper that they don't want us to see?
First of all, I was crying like a baby. Gayle King and Oprah were there, and I mean, we were just in tears because it was so touching to see Beyoncé with her daughters because she's so protective of them.
Insiders keep popping up with whispers about the boys' physical health, and the rumors are starting to sound a little too consistent to ignore. Unless Beyoncé or Nicki step forward and tell their side of the story, people are going to keep assuming the worst. And get this, even though these two women aren't exactly on speaking terms right now, some say they share a secret connection when it comes to raising their sons, something that could explain why they're both being so private.
Imagine that a baby could be strong. Like, he could, if he wants to push me, my body will move, like, you know?
Right.
Like, you know, and sometimes he has. And I'm like, what the? Yeah, and he's just sitting, he runs everything. Like, he's been watching that movie, The Baby Boss. Movie, Boss Baby. So he acts like that, like he channels that.
We all know Beyoncé doesn't play when it comes to protecting her kids. She's known for doing everything in her power to shield them from paparazzi, online trolls, and the chaos of fame. But lately, fans have noticed she's been even more cautious, barely showing Sir Carter at all. And Nicki? She's been doing the same with Papa Bear. The boy who once melted hearts on her social media is now practically invisible. No interviews, no mentions, no cute videos. Nothing. What really grabs people's attention is how selective both Beyoncé and Nicki are when it comes to showing their kids. Blue Ivy's been in the spotlight since day one, walking red carpets, performing on massive stages, and collecting awards like a natural-born superstar. And now, Rumi's stepping into that same spotlight, gaining her own fanbase after making that surprise appearance during the Cowboy Carter tour. Fans couldn't stop talking about how confident and full of energy she looked. But then there's Sir Carter, the total mystery child. He's almost never seen in public and was completely missing from the Cowboy Carter tour. People noticed, and they're asking why. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj used to post those sweet little moments with Papa Bear. Cute pictures, funny voice clips, and adorable stories during interviews that made fans feel like they were part of her mom journey. Now, it's like she's shut that door completely. She hardly ever mentions him, and it's been ages since fans saw a new picture or heard his voice. The change has everyone talking. What made Nicki go from proud mama to full-on private mode? And here's where things get wild. There's been growing speculation online that both Sir Carter and Papa Bear could be dealing with something deeper. Maybe shyness, developmental challenges, or medical conditions that make public life harder for them. While Rumi's loving the spotlight, some self-proclaimed online doctors claim she showed signs of being on the spectrum too, pointing to her big gestures and energetic movements on stage. Here's where things start getting emotional. Beyoncé has already opened up about how tough her pregnancy with the twins really was. In her Vogue interview, she revealed she had to deliver via C-section and battled a serious condition called toxemia, also known as preeclampsia. She described how her body was swollen, she was put on strict bed rest, and recovery took weeks. That's no small thing, especially when you're carrying twins. And anyone who knows about preeclampsia knows it can affect the babies too, sometimes causing early births or fragile health conditions that require close monitoring. Beyoncé even shared that at one point, the heartbeat of one of her twins stopped. A terrifying moment for any mother. Ever since then, fans have speculated that it was Sir Carter who faced the bigger complications, which could explain why Bey has kept him away from the spotlight. It's not about shame, it's about protection. But still, the internet can be ruthless, and people have twisted that privacy into something dark. Even Azealia Banks couldn't resist stirring the pot. She once tweeted, "Stop hiding your son from the world, sis. People will find out sooner or later, and you really gonna look like a piece of ish for being ashamed of your own child." That post exploded online, sparking outrage and debate. Then Kanye West decided to jump in too, dropping a wild and insensitive tweet where he allegedly exposed details about the twins' health. It didn't take long before another celebrity turned their attention toward Nicki Minaj, claiming she's hiding something about Papa Bear too. At first, Nicki tried to calm the storm by explaining that motherhood made her more careful about what she shares online. She said she wanted to protect her son's peace, not put him on display for clout. Things really took a dark turn after that messy online feud between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. The two have always had tension, but this time, it crossed a serious line. During one of their heated exchanges, Cardi posted a tweet that had everyone's jaws on the floor. She wrote, "Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't talk, and you gotta sit in special ed because your mom couldn't put the drugs down." True. Then she doubled down with another one saying, "Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't speak in banging spoons because your mom couldn't put the drugs down." That was brutal. Fans instantly called her out for dragging a child into their grown woman beef. But at the same time, those tweets lit up social media because they seemed to feed into the quiet rumors people had already been whispering about Nicki's son allegedly having developmental challenges. And from that moment, the gossip spread like wildfire. Not long after that, some so-called fans began circulating photos and videos of Papa Bear, claiming he still used a baby bottle at around 4 years old and suggesting he wasn't talking yet. The internet ran wild with those observations, spinning it into every kind of theory imaginable. But through all the noise, Nicki stayed silent. She never directly denied any of the claims, which made people talk even more. Still, Nicki's mother wasn't letting the internet bully her grandson. She quickly stepped in, saying Papa Bear was just a sweet, quiet child who doesn't enjoy being in the spotlight. Nothing more, nothing less. She made it clear he's healthy, happy, and growing just like any other kid his age. Tina Knowles, Beyoncé's mom, said almost the exact same thing about Sir Carter, that he's just shy and prefers a calm life away from flashing cameras and screaming crowds. And honestly, that's fair. Not every kid is built for fame. Now here's where things start heating up even more. Because just when people thought the drama couldn't go any deeper, more alleged insiders began spilling tea. And this time, they were pointing fingers at both Beyoncé and Nicki. Some of these so-called sources claimed that the reason both women keep their sons hidden isn't just about privacy or shyness, it's about control. They say both queens are fiercely protective to the point of obsession, making sure no one outside their trusted circle ever gets too close to their kids. Apparently, there's been quite chatter within the industry that Beyoncé and Nicki might have both signed strict confidentiality agreements with their staff, nannies, stylists, even drivers, to keep all details about their children under wraps. One insider allegedly said, "They treat those kids like state secrets. You don't talk, you don't post, you don't breathe wrong around them unless you want to lose your job." That statement sent the internet into a frenzy. People started wondering, what's really being hidden behind those iron walls of celebrity privacy? And it doesn't stop there. A few fans noticed that during public appearances, Beyoncé tends to act like a fortress when it comes to the twins, making sure no one gets too close or snaps unapproved photos. Nicki, on the other hand, has reportedly turned down multiple offers for exclusive family magazine covers, ones that could have earned her millions. That's not something most stars would walk away from, unless there was something deeper motivating that decision. Then came the wildest claim of them all, that both stars have allegedly been consulting holistic healers and private therapists for their sons to help them adapt to the world quietly and privately. Some people think it's just careful parenting, others believe it's proof they're trying to manage undisclosed conditions behind the scenes. But no matter how you look at it, it's got the internet buzzing like never before. But people still aren't buying it. Something just doesn't add up. Nicki has never been the type to stay quiet when the internet comes for her, so her silence about Papa Bear has everyone scratching their heads. She's clapped back at fans, rivals, and even entire media outlets before, so why not just clear the air now? Especially after she recently apologized to Cardi B's daughter, Culture, for the harsh comments she made during their feud. That apology made some people wonder, if Nicki can own up to that, why not address the whispers about her own son? And then there's Beyoncé. The Cowboy Carter tour made it crystal clear that she's totally fine with her daughters being in the spotlight. Blue Ivy dancing on stage and Rumi smiling at fans like she was born for the camera. So why not Sir Carter? That's what's keeping the rumor mill spinning. Some people believe the only reason he's never seen publicly is because of health or developmental issues they'd rather keep private. Others think it's simply their way of protecting him from the cruel side of fame. Either way, the theories just keep stacking up. But honestly, at this point, it might be time for the internet to back off because it's getting out of control. Strangers online are out here diagnosing kids they've never met, making assumptions based on nothing but fan edits and blurry photos. One person tweeted, "Did y'all just wake up one day and convince yourselves that Papa Bear, a child whose name y'all don't even know, can't talk, and y'all diagnosing him with stuff he don't have? This is horrible." And honestly, that's a valid point. Kids should always be off limits. No matter how famous their parents are, they're still just kids trying to grow up in peace. And if there is anything going on with them behind closed doors, that's not for the internet to speculate on. That's for their families to handle privately. Both Beyoncé and Nicki have more than enough resources to make sure their children are cared for and protected, no matter what. But what do you think? Should celebrity kids be off limits when it comes to online gossip, or is it fair game since their parents live in the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I want to hear what y'all think. See you in the next one, baddies.